think about this. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. I mean, we do have to follow.
I mean, I will need help. Like, I can't do it by
I know.
myself.
If you let me finish, I can face her afterwards. I am Andrew Edwards. I'm a senior on the men's cross country team. This fall, things I think have been going well. The center protocols, it's taken some time to adjust to, but luckily we've still been able to practice. So I guess a quick rundown of what happens. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Sundays, we are on our own. That means we are either running with our designated training groups, which are usually just partners or groups of three, or we're allowed to run with roommates or by ourselves. Those are kind of the options we're given. If we're running in groups, that of course means that unless we can be 6 to 12 feet apart and have space, we're keeping our mask on. Whenever we go by civilians or kind of just other people around town, we'll pull the mask on if we can't stay away from them, get that social distancing in as well. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we have our team practices and lifts. So what that looks like is we usually warm up, do a 2 mile jog, either down to the cross country course by the Kentucky School for the Deaf, or we're going to Millennium, or we're going to a neighborhood somewhere to do our workouts. And so we'll warm up with those training partners. And the same goes for what the easy runs will look like. Unless we can get socially distanced, we'll keep the masks up, and once we get to our destination, we'll put the mask back on and go through a variety of stretches and drills just to kind of warm ourselves up and get ourselves ready to run hard. And then once we're done with that, we'll get into those training groups for our workout. That's when, again, we'll be able to take our masks off because we'll have space to socially distance. So nothing has changed too much. We're a pretty small team, so we tend to train in partners in small groups anyway. That's just kind of the nature of the sport. I think our men's team has just under 20 people on our team. Our women's team just has over 20. I think we're around 42 as an entire team. It's, like I said, it's been an adjustment, especially just getting used to wearing masks on warm-ups and just keeping them on. We all have gaiters, so it's always kind of around our neck, and that's just it's another layer of clothing we're not necessarily used to having. But other than that, things have stayed pretty normal. We're not meeting as much, of course. Lifts are pretty much the same. We just have the mask on. They're a little shorter since every team has a scheduled time. But luckily, we've still been able to do 3 time trials. We have another one coming up. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to look like at the moment. I think it's going to be in about a week and a half or 2 weeks, right before we leave for Thanksgiving and winter break. We're going to do a 4th time trial of sorts. And for both teams, they've gone well. We've had guys run PRs. We've had guys run better on the track, better on the roads than they will on the track. I know I've improved my best 2 mile time. I think coming into center, I was just under 10 minutes, and the last one I ran it in 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And so we've had these opportunities for growth, which we wouldn't normally have. I also have gotten to run one community race. There was one this Halloween that I was able to run. I was the only one who ran it. And again, ran a 5K best in the middle of a pandemic, which is about all I can ask for. But luckily, we do get to have a legitimate cross-country season come winter. And so our training, we haven't really been able to have an off-season. And we're looking really strong. We're the defending champs. We're returning our top 6 runners. Of course, it's going to be a very competitive conference, but I'm expecting us to win. I think we should win if we're willing to put our best game forward. It'll be difficult to train over winter break. That's going to be the biggest adjustment for our team. Is we're going to be in the middle of really, really intense training and high mileage when we're alone and we're at home. And I know that it can be really difficult for people to train like that at home just because you're alone. It's cold, it's dark, it's not optimal training, but we just got to take what we've been given. We're fortunate to have a season. So I'm excited. I think cross country is a sport that is possible during social distancing and during a pandemic, and I'm very thankful that the school has been a little bit, I don't want to say less strict, but a little more flexible with how we do our sport. It's a tough sport to do with masks, but luckily social distancing is possible. And I'm looking forward to just having a good winter season, and we'll roll straight into track season. So it'll be a busy 3 months for the distance runners.